This is the noob, and this video is going to be a quick tutorial on using Anim8or with Serenity and RCBasic. So I'm going to go ahead and start by opening up Anim8or, and then I'm going to, as soon as this comes up, um, by the way, I am using this on Linux. It does work just fine with Wine. I created a desktop shortcut so I could add it to my launch menu. So if anybody's interested in that, I'll provide that as well. But it's a simple file you just create and just run. To be able to use Anim8or with Serenity, we have to set a few options in Anim8or first. Let's go under options and go down to debug and scroll down to where output normals. This has to be checked in order for your models to be viewable in RCBasic, because those normals are needed to generate the model in RCBasic. So make sure output normals is checked. So now that we have that checked, let's go ahead and create a simple model. And it's gonna, when I say simple, I mean I'm gonna create a block man. So let's go ahead and wait, from where we're starting at, select the shape. Under shapes, let's select the cube, and just go toward the middle of the grid and drag out and create a simple cube, something like that, I guess. And this doesn't have to be perfect. You can just kind of mess around with it. Now I'm going to put this in the wireframe view for the time being so that I can see the lines when I'm adjusting. And let's double click on a cube, and under divisions, let's set 3 divisions on X, and maybe on Y we'll set yeah, I could set 2. We can work with 2, and that's good for this. And hit OK. Let's go and view this from either the right or the left. They're basically so I'll go with the left. And it's still too wide, and on long. We're looking at it like along the z-axis when we're viewing from right or left. Like the z-axis is what's going across. So we want to scale the z down to, I guess, maybe I guess 20 would work. I'll go a little bit thinner. And play around with these numbers. I'm not telling you exactly what numbers I'm using because it depends on how big you create it, but it's like, just try to like ballpark it. So now that we have about where we on I'm trying to explain everything as I click it. This this icon right here with the circle with the dots on the top, bottom, left, and right, that is used to just rotate your view around. And then once you've got seen your model, make sure it's looking good and like all the views you want to look at. You can just go under view and go to front, or yeah, I'm gonna go back to front. And we can't do anything with the points yet, so like to edit points on a model, we would click on here and then we'd be able to select the points. But because like it's not a mesh yet, it's just a shape, we can't do anything with it. So we have to go under the build menu and click convert to mesh. And now when we go into the edit menu, which is these dots right here, we can edit each individual point. After you do that, let's go ahead. I'm just going to create legs by extruding these faces down. And a face, when I'm referring to a face, if you're not familiar with 3D modeling, I'm just referring to a polygon. So I'm going to select this face, and I'm holding down Control, and I'm going to select this face. Well, I thought I could select both. Oh, right click, sorry. It's not holding down Control, it's just right clicking. So, click on one and then right click to select the other. And now I want to extrude it down. So I'm going to on these bottom options right here, I'm going to look for extrude faces. So that, and then with the extrude faces selected, I'm just going to drag in the direction. I'm having to drag and move up to make it go down. Might be because of the view I'm in, but yeah, I'm gonna drag down to about there. Let me view front, and then I'm gonna drag down again, and now we have our legs. It's some pretty long legs, but it's fine for this. And now this, the reason why we did 2 on a Y is we're gonna select all of these points in the middle right here, and then hit this move button on the left, and and also select Y on the Y axis so that Y is the only one highlighted. That way we can't move left or right, we can only move up or down, and we want to move up to I guess about there. Alright, and now on the sides here, and like, yeah, you're familiar with that, this thing I clicked earlier to move around. That's what I used to get to this view. So I'm gonna unselect, just hit select tool and just click outside the shape so that it unselects everything. And now we want to and you got to be careful not to select the point or the edge. You want to select the face like this. So click that, and now we are going to, hang on, view front. Alright, and we're gonna hit extrude faces again and just go out a little bit, and then go out again, and now we have our arm. And now we are going to do the same thing to this other side. So gonna hit select tool and click on the face if I can get it. Yeah, face. And now let's hit the extrude face again. I'm gonna go back to front view and just dragging out to there. And these are not, like I said, not perfect because I'm not trying to be, I'm just trying to be fast. And now I'm going to just kind of move it up like this, and then I'm going to use the select tool, and I'm going to select this middle point right here, and I'm going to drag that up to make the head. So go back to extrude faces and just go up, and now we have our head. I don't know what this thing is. You could play around with it, make the shape look a little bit better. Maybe you could even add some feet and stuff onto it, but I'm not gonna do that for this because that would just be a time waste for this tutorial. So now we have our basic model. Let's go ahead and before we do anything, we're going to save. So first I'm gonna just save as, and I'm just save it wherever is good for you. I'll save it into here, I guess. I'm gonna have to make a new project, Serenity project later, but so I'm gonna save it in here. I'm gonna call it Blockman, save. And now I'm going to export it, because the reason I'm exporting it now, I'm going to export it like as an OBJ. Call it block man, and save as OBJ. The reason I'm exporting as a OBJ right now is before I start animating it, I first want to UV map it, and Anim8or has a UV mapping tool built in, sort of, but it's terrible. So I'm not going to UV map it in Anim8or, and so let's go ahead and close this for now. Or you can just minimize it, but I'm just going to close it because we're going to have to open it up. We're going to have to import it as a new object anyway. So for now, let's go into Blender. Alright, delete the default. And import OBJ, wavefront OBJ, and look for your the OBJ you exported. Blockman OBJ, import, and now we have our model imported. So with our model imported, we want to, on this top bar in Blender, just go over to UV editing, and we want to switch to we're already in edit mode, so we're gonna hit A to select all the points. And actually, I'm not even gonna do that good a UV map on this. I really only want to have a thorough UV map for the face itself. So I'm gonna have the face as a separate part of the map. Select all the points on the face, and that should have added the face to my UV map. Hang on. So let's see. Select all the points on the face. I think there's a way to actually select just the face in Blender, but I'm not actually all that much of an expert in Blender. And oh yeah, like so right next to this drag, the drop down that has the edit mode in it, you can select the edges or the faces. So I'm gonna select face and then click on this face, and we see these points right here. At least I think that's it. Yeah, these are the like this is where it mapped the face at. It's like these. So let's right click on it and unwrap, and now we have our face. And I'm going to just I guess, you know what, actually we'll keep it like that. And then the rest of the model, I mean, you could play around with the UV map. It's just beyond the point of this tutorial. So the rest of these points, actually, hang on. Let's select that. I need to take this out for now. So with these points selected, I'm going to press G and then just drag it out of there for now. And now I'm going to go back into this view and hit A to select everything else. And I want to select just all of these points and hit S to scale it down. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna just, and then hit G and just move it to somewhere in your map. Like all of these points have to fit in this box right here for your UV map. So I'm gonna hit G on this, drag this back in, and I'm gonna scale this down a little bit. There. And like I said with this, I'm just doing the worst type of UV map possible for this, but feel free to make a better UV map if you want to. This is just basically determining where your texture is going to be, what polygons your texture is going to be drawn onto. And so Um, so now that I have my UV map done, I'm gonna go under, I think, UV and export UV. Well, actually, first I want to save it. So, well, first I want export wavefront OBJ, and I'm just gonna overwrite the OBJ that I imported. So tutorial, and I'm just gonna export that. So now I've overridden the OBJ file I exported, and now I'm gonna, in my UV map, let me go back. In my UV map, I'm gonna go under UV and export UV layout, and I'm gonna put it in that same folder. And export UV layout. So now we're done in Blender. Let's go ahead and close Blender. No, I don't want to save it. And we have our our UV map layout here. I'm gonna right click and open this in an image editing program, and you can use whatever image editing program you want. I'm gonna use Color Paint, and this, let me zoom out. Yeah, so this is our UV map, basically where the stuff is getting drawn at. So for the face, I'm gonna make the face like, I don't know, bright blue. Actually, no, I'll make the body bright blue. No, I'll make it dark blue. So the face, I'm just gonna make bright blue, and I should just be able to flood fill here. And I'm gonna draw like I guess a smiley face on here. So this is gonna look really bad, but it doesn't matter. And this might be upside down. I didn't even check to see if it was right side up or upside down, but we'll find out, and we can change it later. But I'll make the body dark blue. Make the rest of this dark blue. And save. And now we have our UV map done. So let's close this. And now we're going to go back into Anim8or. And under Object, we're going to go to Import. And we're going to select, we want to import a wavefront OBJ. And import our import the OBJ that we we exported from Blender. So open, and now it looks the same, but now it has the UV map that we made. So in Anim8or, let's go back on like here. I'm on wireframe right now. I'm gonna go over to the solid view, actually semi-solid view, the solid view with the lines, which is the middle one. And now I'm on like these four balls right here. I'm going to click that, and now I can add a material. So I'm gonna double click on the little material ball right here, and it opens this up. And I want to add a diffuse texture, I believe. And let's load a load texture and blockman.png and okay and okay. And yeah, my face is upside down. I'm not gonna fix it though. It's good enough, I guess. And also the fact that the rest of it is just solid black means that it wasn't in the UV map that we made. Which if I cared about making a better UV map, I would fix that. But for the purposes of this, I don't really care. We have our model and it's textured, so that's good. Let's go into figure. So on this tab up here, click on figure. And now we need to add a bone to be able to add an object to it. So we have to add one bone first. So on under bones, click on the bone with the plus sign next to it, and then click on this root bone right here, and just drag up a little bit. Um, yeah, that's good. Um, and now we go up to build and add object. And I only have one object, which is Blockman, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. Hit OK. And now we need to go and put the rest of our bones into this object. But before I do that though, I'm going to just select the object. So I hit the box select tool, and now I'm selecting the object. And now I'm going to move it up. So the move tool, I'm going to select the Y axis only, and I'm going to move it up to where the root bone is like on its crotch, kind of like that. Alright, and now I'm using a mouse wheel to scroll in and out, and I want to get all the bones to where they kind of line up with the joints and stuff. So let's click on that plus bone option again, and I want to click on the root bone, not the bone we already extruded from root bone, but this root bone. Drag out from there and go slightly left, and then click on it again, drag down, go down to where the knees bend, and then click on it again, drag down to go to the edge of the feet, and then click on the root bone again and drag right to go right. And then from here you could probably figure out the rest. Just try to get it to line up as good as you can. Alright, and now I'm going to start working on getting the arm joints too. So I'm going to go up a little bit, and then go like to where the shoulders are, and then down to where the elbow is, and down to where the hand would be, and then doing that same thing here. And yeah, and now we also want to make sure that it lines up with the left or right view to make sure it's all in there, and we're good on this. Let's go back to front. And now that we've made our skeleton, we need to tell Anim8or which bones move which polygons. So to do that, under bones, click on this like bottom bone option right here. It'll say multi-bone skin down here at the bottom of the window. So actually, before I do that though, select your select the bone you want to set your weights on, or your influence on. Now click this. I guess click that, and then click on a model, and then it'll do this for the first one. We don't care about this first bone at all, so I'm gonna just click on another bone. Let's start with the leg, I guess. Yes. So we want the influence. This whole cone, the capsule shape right here, is the total influence for that bone, and we don't need the bone to have that much influence. So click on one of the points at the bottom or top. I'll start at the top, and then just drag it down to where it's not quite fully covering the bottom shapes right there, and then click on the yellow, the top yellow point, and then just drag that up to extend that, and do the same thing for the bottom points as well. That's good. These middle points, they kind of move the whole shape, so You can adjust those to try to cover the whole the all the points you're trying to get to. So really just play around with it till you get where it's covering all of the shape you want. So that's good for that leg. Now let's click on this bottom bone and we'll do that same thing here. And really at the point where we're at now, it's really just about playing around trying to get all of the points inside the shape you want covered. And so yeah, and we don't need the actually I guess, yeah, maybe we do. Alright. And we're going to do the same thing for the other leg and both arms as well. So I'm going to be very quick with this because anybody who's watched any of my previous videos knows I don't like editing. So I'm going to do this all in one take. And if you accidentally click off of it, just click back on it and it'll bring the shapes that you've already created back up. Alright, now the arms. That's already pretty decent, I guess, for arms. Just drag the yellow part out. And Anim8or has a more accurate way of doing this called weights, but I actually don't have a whole lot of support for that in RCBasic right now. It's something I'm gonna work on in the future. Actually, I mean, I'll work on it in the future if anybody really wants it, because I'm limited. This is kind of like I do the majority of the coding on RCBasic, so I try to prioritize stuff that people actually plan to use over stuff that people think is just a good idea. Especially for stuff like the Anim8or support took like almost a year to get working at the point where it is now, because I really don't know quaternions and stuff that well. So we have all of our stuff rigged. I'm gonna go ahead and save this too, because I get always a little bit paranoid that I'm gonna lose stuff. So let's just do save as, and I'm gonna save over my previous Blockman file. And yes. And now we're not gonna use sequence to animate anything, but I do use the sequence tab to test my rig. So if you go into sequence, we have just a blank grid here. Go under sequence and new, and on figure we want to select our figure and then hit OK. And so if our rig was correct, then we should be able to move the bones, and it'll move the polygons that we want to move. So click on this rotate bone option next to the select tool, and then let's just select a bone and try moving it around. Actually, if it's just totally gray and you can't do anything, make sure you have like right click on all of these to make sure they're all selected. You have to right click to select multiple. You can't just left click. So now with all of them selected, I'm gonna unselect it and then select it again, and now I can see all the rings and stuff. So let's go ahead and just try. Yeah, and if I'm right now I'm not able to move the stuff I should be moving, which is a sign that maybe I messed up on my rig. So let's go back and fix that. So let's extend this out a little bit more. Same thing here. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, see, that fixed it. Let's do the same thing with this. Like, so that leg isn't working, and neither is that one. And I'm pretty sure this arm is probably not working. Oh, this arm is working too. Sweet. So let's fix this leg by just making those influences bigger. So let's go up a little bit more. I don't want to go up too much because I don't want this to start messing with this leg. So let's see. But I can go up quite a bit more. So I'll do that. Alright. And same thing with this bottom leg. I'm gonna go up a little bit here, and then let's just go down a little bit here. Alright, now let's see what that did. So the top bone seems to be working now. It's just the bottom one that isn't. So how much bigger does this need to be? Let's go up out a little bit more, and I guess a little bit up on that. Let's see if it's it looks like it's big enough now. It should be getting the whole shape in there. So yeah, now let's work on this one. And yeah, so let's see what we need to fix on that. And a little bit bigger. And if you're adjusting this, feel free to skip ahead to the point where I'm done with this. And alright, so yeah, it seems like this leg is now working, but this leg, well, this part of the leg isn't. So let's see how much bigger we need to make this. Alright. Bingo. Now we just need to fix this arm. Yep. So quick and easy fix. Ah, that's weird. So let's get a little bit bigger. Go out a little bit more. Same thing with this. And so yeah, now our shape is good. So now let's go over to scene, and this is where we're actually going to start animating. So first we need to add our object to the scene. So let's go ahead and before I do that, I'm gonna save. I'm always scared that software is gonna crash on me, so I save constantly. So let's go to add object. No, actually, add figure. That's what we want. We want to add a figure, and select our figure, and OK. And now we have our figure with our animation and stuff. So let's view view this from the right side, um, and have the this rotate bone option selected. And let's just, our first frame is going to be our it's going to be our standstill frame. So let's look at it from the front real quick, and we're going to hang on. I'm first going to rotate this down, and maybe I'll rotate this down a little bit too. It's a terrible model, so I'm not expecting it to look that good when you rotate this like in large ways like this, but it'll get the point across. Although, man, did I messed up on that. Yeah. I'm not gonna fix it though. It's a terrible model, but it's just showing off animation, and then we're going to get to importing it in Serenity3D, and then that'll be the end of this. So this will be our standing still pose, and we're gonna go under Edit, go down to Bones, and select Key All Bones, and that will make it so all bones are in this position for frame 0. Yeah, we're on frame 0 by default. So did it key all the bones? Hang on. So select, and then I'm gonna select all this again, and then go to Edit and Bones and key all bones. And if all the bones were keyed, when you like look at like it's called figure 1 for me, but it's like the figure you have selected, all of the bones should have like a dot next to it. That means they are all keyed. So now you have your standing still pose. So from there, let's go to view, I guess left, and we are going to go over to, on the timeline, I guess go over to frame 8, and then make a running pose. So like select your rotate bone option right here, and then select the leg bone, and then go out a little bit, and then select the other leg and go out the other way a little bit, and yeah, let's do the same thing for the arm. So select the arm and go back a little bit, and then select the other arm, and we'll go that way a little bit. Alright, and now we want as long as you have this key thing down at the bottom selected, which it should be selected automatically, you don't have to worry about going up to edit and keying bones or anything. It'll just do it automatically when you move the bones. So now we're gonna go over to, I guess, like frame 16, or yeah, and then we'll move it back to the stationary position. and yeah, same thing with the legs. And now let's go up to frame 24. And we will move them in the opposite direction. So there and there and there and at this point I don't even expect you to be paying attention anymore, because you can just play around. Like, you basically got the idea down. And now I'm gonna add one more still pose at frame 32. So frame 32, let's go back down and alright. So after that, you can unselect that rotate bone tool, and it'll deselect that key thing too. And yeah, now you can use the arrow keys to go between your frames, and it looks pretty good. So our standing still frame is frame 0, which you can see down here at the bottom. It's frame 0, and then 1 through like stop 1 through 32. That's gonna be our walk or move frame, I should say. So let's go ahead and save this. And now we are done with Animator. Let's go ahead and open up Serenity. And we're gonna create a new project. And other tutorial. And you can create your project wherever you want. I'm just creating all of these test projects in this folder. So I'm gonna call this Anim8 test and create. So now we have our new project, which I was going to try to open in a new tab, but that doesn't look like that's an option for me. Yeah, so open a new window. And in models, I want to drag my animator model in. So the .anim8 file, I'm gonna just drag it in there. And let me make sure you save your animator model before you do this. So I'm gonna drag it in again, and put your texture map inside of the textures folder. So there. And now let's go ahead and add the texture to our project. So add our texture, and it should be our UV map texture. And you know what, I'll do better in the future. Actually, yeah, if you have it maximized, it'll show, I think, more of the image. But I'm gonna make sure that that image is shrunk to this view in a future release. So let's create a new material. We'll just call it. I'm not gonna change the name of the material, and I'm gonna disable lighting for the material. Let's go ahead and add a texture on texture level, and then set that texture to our texture we loaded. And now let's go into mesh and load mesh, our animator model, load, and select it. And if you don't see, if your screen right here is blank after selecting the animator model, it means that in Animator, under options and debug, you don't have output normal selected. That has to be selected Otherwise, it won't export to normals, and then your model won't load correctly. So, like, we have our model loaded, but it's all black because we haven't loaded or added our texture to it. So let's go ahead under materials, add, and then select the material and set, and then we'll set the material we created. And now we have our texture map on there. Although I realize now it's backwards. So like the texture map I did was really bad, but yeah, that's what it is. So frame 0 is our idle animation, which it's good. So let's create animation 1, which I'll call walk, and it's gonna be frame 1 through 32, and we'll set it to like 30 frames a second, and then play that. It's awful animation, but yeah, that's our, and the leg is messed up too. I didn't realize that. So I need to go back into Animator and change the the influence on the bones and stuff, which, yeah, it looks correct in the Animator, but like I have to like approximate that when I'm loading in RCBasic. It's like off by like maybe a decimal point, probably sometimes. So we can go back in here and we could just slightly increase this, and just like ever so slightly increase, and it would fix it. So, and then save as, and I'm just gonna save it directly into the folder. So models, and yes. So to get it, it doesn't automatically reload this in RCBasic, so I need to actually see it. I can either save it, save the project, close it, and then reopen it, or I could just, which I'm just gonna do that because I don't want. So I'll save this, save, and now I'm going to close it and just reopen it. I could have just reopened the project too, I guess, but I have had problems where it's crashing when you like load it sometimes. So it's something where I still haven't fully tracked the issue on that. But if you need to reload your project, it's better to just restart Serenity for now. It's something I'm working on. It's not like I'm abandoning it. It's just, it's gonna take time. So and like load the model. Also new material, load texture. Another problem with Serenity is, unless you have a stage created and your stuff added to the stage, it's not saving your meshes and stuff. Lots of problems that are in the process of being fixed. But here we go. Let's go ahead and set. It does at least save your animations. So now when we play this walk animation, we don't have that problem with the leg anymore. And that is it. You could watch the first tutorial I did on Serenity to, figure out how to get from Serenity into RCBasic. This tutorial was really on just using Animator with RCBasic. I know it was really poorly done, but it's just a basic overview. Any questions or feedback, feel free to post on the comment section at the bottom of the video, the forum, the Discord, or the itch.io page, and I generally respond really quickly, sometimes less than an hour after I see it. So with that said, if you have any feedback, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.